Did you put the onions in yet? Are you sure? Can you show them to me? No, in here, did you? I didn't see you put an onion in, honey. You put the dirt in. Now I want to see you put the onion in.
Oh, wait a minute.
I think you forgot.
I didn't do it yet.
Okay, so put the onions in and then we'll know you didn't forget. Onion here and onion there.
Haven't done.
And which side goes up? Honey, I didn't see any onions in them. You put dirt in them, but you didn't put onions in yet. Which side goes up? What do we call that part? The pointy side goes up?
Yeah.
Yep, the pointy side goes up. Okay, put one in here now. And then you need to put a little more dirt on them and pat them, right?
Yep.
Okay, a little more dirt in them and then pat them.
Yeah, I haven't done that one yet.
Well, that's not quite a hole. So try following directions, okay? Okay, a little bit more.
Okay.
How's it coming, Paige?
Good.
Can you poke your little head out so I can see you? And what are you doing?
Watering plants.
Being careful not to step on chickies, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The chicks are just frightened of me.
Okay, now pat them. I want to see you pat them.
I haven't yet. Oh.
Okay, good job.
And also, I have on cowgirl boots. I'm becoming a cowgirl.
Are ya?
Yeah. She's gonna have her class soon.
Is she?
Yep, I know. Another birthday.
Did you want me to dig you some holes?
Nope, I'm gonna too.
Okay, I want you.
This is Paige and Kaya. We're both hoeing. We're trying to do this. It's a path.
Okay, not across from each other though. That way nobody gets hurt.
Yeah. And I'm being like a pioneer girl.
And what are we doing this for? Did you know?
We just want to walk in so we can do it the easier way, like a plow. Mom, can we show you?
Can you show me what, honey?
We walk and we drag the rakes behind.
No, let's get it finished
Mom,
first.
let me show you. Okay. Here we go past. Now, we are good little gardeners. Go, Kaya, go.
So I've been in the house canning and running back and forth with irrigation. Paige has been in the back watering trees for the last 4 hours.
And she has been bringing me peaches.
I have, huh? I've been bringing you peaches. I downloaded some audiobooks onto my smartphone and I took those out for Paige to listen to while she was doing the water. Because that's what I don't like about the watering is...
all the cows.
Yep, there's all the cows. The reason I don't like the watering is because it requires standing there because you have to move the hose about every 3 minutes. So
you have to count to 100.
Yeah, you have to count to 100, huh? So Paige is practicing her counting. And
Should I take the beet greens off?
No, because I'm going to give them to the pigs.
So there's this one colossal beet right here that is huge, and there's another right here.
Oh my god.
Colossal.
Whoa.
It's heavy. Oh, and there's another one even bigger right here.
Yeah. Okay, so this is our pig girl. She's the little pig raiser, our pig whisperer. What do you think of the difference between the big pigs and these little pigs?
The other ones eat a lot more and get bigger a lot faster. And these ones have a lot better of tempers, and we could feed them just off of garden scraps and milk.
And do you feel like they're going to eat you at any second?
No. The other ones do.
The other ones try to eat you alive, don't they?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about.
Well, you trying to jump up, so.
Go ahead.
So this is our greenhouse. We just barely brought out the plants right here on the table. And then that box right there we transplanted and then brought out. This one right here was a fig, but it's really important that if you do have a hot weather plant in medium or cold weather, then you always have to cover it up. This was doing really good until one night we didn't know it was going to freeze and it froze and it wasn't covered. So we're still watering it just in case it will come back from the root.
So, who is the one that takes care of this greenhouse?
I do.
Huh?
I do.
100%, huh?
Yeah.
You planted it, you harvest it, you water it, you fertilize
Mom
it.
helped me on some of the planting, like on the peas, but
after that, you just kind of took over, huh?
yeah.
Morning, guys. Julie here. It's been a minute since I've taken a video because I've had a lot of mixed emotions with what's happening on our homestead right now. As a lot of you know, if you've been watching recent videos, the girls have been doing all of the outside farm chores, and that is the way that I designed the system. Eventually, I wanted the milking, the gardening, the butchering, anything that needed to happen. I wanted the girls to have the capacity to do it without me, to make them also self-sufficient instead of mom always going out and participating and managing. I wanted them to have that innate knowledge in their head, but also I wanted them to have experienced it with their hands so that they could duplicate it for themselves instead of it just being in mom's brain, with them being little little worker bees that didn't really know how to work their way mentally and physically through doing it without instruction. So the kids have arrived at that point. All through the years that I have been homesteading, my favorite thing in the world to do is to go outside and work in the cool morning hours, be with the animals, and pretty much just kind of be a wild creature out with the wild creatures. And it was very difficult for me to homeschool my kids inside, to do a lot of cooking inside. It just isn't my happy place. Just because I love to be outside and it's my preferred vocation doesn't mean that as a mother I get to choose that for myself over the next few years. What I get to choose for myself over the next few years is to fill in the blanks for my children and give them the responsibility that they need to be able to be mature, self-aware, skilled adults. So the holes that they have, even though those holes are the reason those are their holes, the reason those are the blanks in their lives is because I love to do them. And so I'll just go out and do them without thinking about it.
And over the years, even though I've had them help haul things, I haven't had the kids get their hands in and be the only ones responsible to get this task done. So this year, I need my kids to build hotbeds. I need my kids to fill hotbeds. I need my kids to plant hotbeds and to understand what happens when you don't secure the plastic well enough when you build a greenhouse. I need my children to cover winter hotbeds and make sure that things aren't freezing at night, because hotbeds, even though you can plant in February, you have to cover hotbeds at night, because at night the air is cold enough to kill baby plants. And so this is my game plan. My little family has a few years left where I can give them really valuable information. But in order for that information to stick, they have to do it physically. They have to have had their hands in the dirt. And so here I am, my whiny little self, thinking, oh, I've got 3 years before I get to go out and really garden again. I've got 3 years before I get to go out and really participate in the outside work. And it has to be okay, because if I go out and I do it with them, they're relying on my brain to remember the details. If I go out and I do it with them, then I will micromanage. If I go out with them, I will pick up all of my favorite tasks and I will take them over from the kids, and I will tell the kids they're not doing it perfectly, and so let me do it instead, because I care about how well it's done. So in this dilemma, in which my kids are now learning a new set of skills, and I need them to learn them well so that they can take them with them. Again, my kids know how to butcher the animals, they know how to milk the goats, they know how to feed the animals, they know how to breed the animals, and they know how to feed and water a whole bunch of different variety of things. What they still don't really know how to do is plant and water a garden, and how to know when to harvest a garden. Those are things that we're working on right now. And Paige is 15 and Kai is 13. I have a limited number of years to teach them how to do these things effectively, which means literally for the next few years while they are still at home, I still need to teach them these things. They've already got pretty much the animals down. Now they really need to know how to tell when fruit is ripe, how to tell when to plant a tree, how to tell that a tree needs water, and they're all real skill sets. I have no intention of having my children leave my home without knowing everything that I know how to do. By not going out with my children and instead letting them make mistakes, letting them make imperfect structures, letting them play the work, it will belong to them. And most likely they will learn how to do things better than I did, because they will be standing on my shoulders when I come out and I check and I say, oh, that looks like a good idea. Did you see this? Did you see this sticking out that's going to break the plastic? Or are you sure that's going to hold the rabbits in when we put them in the hotbed to manure it? I can give them little questions and then expect them to find a solution, but I expect them to work through it and have something magnificent to show in the end. The sitting and watching is a struggle for me, because I want to be out doing it. But I see how important it is to my children. If I want them to be adult women who know how to garden, who know how to milk, who know how to chop wood, who know how to build a hotbed, if I want them to be women who know how to do that, I have to let them do it and not be with them when they do it, because that doesn't cut it. Because up to this point, for years and years and years, my kids have been with me the whole time I've built any of these things, but they don't know how to do it. That's the thing about kids. You can tell them, you can show them, but until they've done it multiple times over the course of seasons, it doesn't belong to them. In order for it to belong to them, they have to have managed it. They have to have started the project. They have to have made mistakes on the project. And then they have to finish the project and have the consequences of their achievements. And some of those consequences are going to be brilliant and wonderful, and some of those consequences are going to be failures. But it will belong to them. And then when they go out into the world and they're not with me, they can take those hands-on, dirt under the fingernail skills and apply them to their own lives and their own needs. And instead of having to call me and say, Mom, how did this work? Instead, they will call their sister and say, Paige, how did we do this that time we built that hotbed? What part of it was it that didn't work? What part did work? And it will belong to them.
Stop and sharpen. That's way too dull. Show me your little face here. Yeah. If you're having to pull like that, it's way too dull.
I have to pull either way so
Yeah,
that
but
I'm not having enough.
if you don't,
So
if it doesn't just automatically slice, your knife is way too dull, okay?